Hey, and welcome to this special travel edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson. Now we have a special kind of treat here, and we're actually going to test out a Class C motorhome from Camping World of Raleigh. Now what you see behind me is a Class C, and it's brought to you by Thor, a 21-footer. And we'll get into more specifics on that in just a minute. But we bring this to you live from Waterway RV Park here in Swansboro, North Carolina. Now that's tucked in between Emerald Isle and Swansboro, just before the bridge, right there on the main thoroughfare. Now we have a beautiful scenic view right here on the intercoastal. We're going to give you kind of a treat of both where we are and how we got here. Now, if you're first-time RVers like us, you obviously are trying to figure out the benefits of RVing versus traditional vacationing. Now, if you look at the studies, they're going to show that RVing is actually less expensive for the family of four. Now, in the case here at Water Park RV Resort in Swansboro, North Carolina, we are able to get a waterfront view right here on the inlet for less than $80 a night. Now, traditionally, if you had to get that type of beachfront access, you're going to spend a lot more than that. Now, by the numbers, the industry says that you're going to spend anywhere 10% to 25% less traditionally, and those savings can actually be a lot higher than that when you start thinking about not eating out, eating right there in the RV, and you're going to save money for the family of four. Now, if you remember the economic collapse that happened several years ago and took the industries by notice, most notably the automotive industry. Now, obviously, we want to see where we've come from since then, and the RV industry, thankfully, has made a full recovery and has seen increasing growth each year. Now, just by the numbers for 2013 compared to last year, they're up about 30+% in the Class A and about 40+% in the Class C. Now, by the numbers, of course, that's about 200,000 units sold a year to date. Now again, we've brought a Camping World of Raleigh Thor Class C Edition motorhome down here to the Waterway RV Resort here in Swansboro, North Carolina. Now what's interesting about this place here is you truly have year-rounders, and what I'm referring to are the travel trailers, the fifth wheels that are permanently in place. Now what's great about that is this creates kind of a neighborhood feel versus maybe a different kind of camping type site where you're going to have weekenders only. Now, when we got down here, what's great is we had all the amenities, of course, that come in a Class C, plus all the amenities right here on site, including plumbing, 30 amp service, cable, and sewer hookup. Now, what's great, of course, is we are on the water. Again, the dollar amount is not that expensive, and we do have that neighborhood feel built right in. Now again, we must talk about the difference between the Class A, Class B, and Class C motor homes. Now what we have today, of course, is the Class C, and again is the child-friendly version. Now it's going to hold around about 4 people, maybe 6 in a pinch if you have to. Now in between the Class A and C is the B model, and that's going to be based more on a van-like styling. Now what's great about that model, of course, is it's going to have a little bit more drivability and maybe more for the novice RVer that wants more of a downsized version. Now the Class A is what I refer to as the adult-friendly version. Now it is the full-size offering and will deliver all the amenities of home on some wheels. I'm Grant Roberson, the host of Road Warrior, and when I think of RVing, I think of Camping World of Raleigh. Now what's great about that place is it's a one-stop shop for all your RVing needs. Now, Camping World of Raleigh has everything you need under one roof, from RV rentals, RV sales, to camping supplies. Now, if you're looking for your RV needs under one roof, Camping World of Raleigh has just that. Now, stop in there, see them today, and what's great is they have a great service and people waiting to help you. Now, when you're deciding on an RV, you obviously have tons of choices just from the start, and I'm referring to, again, that Class A, Class B, Class C, just in the motorhomes, plus the trailer options that you have. Now, here you're seeing the Class C, which is one of the go-to choices for families. And the way you know it's a Class C is by the traditional lines, and I'm referring to that bunk that goes right above the front cab. Now, I like to refer to the Class C as being children friendly, and what I'm referring to is that bunk. Once you're inside, adults really want to kind of find adult amenities, and that bunk really lends itself to smaller children, of course, that can climb up there and have a good restful sleep. Now, when you start talking about the Class A through C models, obviously we're talking about motor homes and being able to drive your RV into place without any hookup or anything like that. Now, again, if you go with the travel trailers, you'll need a truck and you'll have to make sure you have the towing capability. Now, on this model, I like to refer to this side as being the entertainment side. And what I'm referring to, obviously, is your ingress and egress is traditionally here, but you do have typically all the entertainment going on. The biggest being the awning that can easily fold out right here. Now, in this particular model, this is a manually equipped version, which basically means you unlatch it and simply ease it out and it locks into place. Other models will come with a power option where you'll basically press a button and it'll fold out. Now, other entertainment that you'll find on some of these motorhomes are TVs that will fold out from on the outside. CD, XM, radio, all that amenities that basically allow you to entertain. Now, one of the best features for entertaining is this kind of sand mat that you put outside your door. And this basically keeps anything from walking inside and keeps the interior of this RV nice and clean. Now, when you get into the RV market, you're of course going to look at the amenities and the interior space, but one other area you need to look at is storage. Now, on this modestly sized 21-footer, I was surprised to actually find quite a bit underneath this rear hatch. Now, once you open this up, it's real simple and it is really a vast cavern. And what's great is there's a lot of niches and tons of places. We actually had our bikes and a whole bunch of things in there, but what's great is they actually have this nice little cooler-like area that has a plug, and you can actually shove it full of ice and keep drinks cool, and of course store all your gear in just the same. Now, again, we got this vehicle from Camping World of Raleigh, and what's great about a place like that is they provide all the service that you could possibly need. Checking your LP on this vehicle, checking the levels, and making sure you're roadworthy. Now, looking right here, this is traditionally where the LP is going to be found, and if you're not familiar with, the LP gas basically runs anything that has a flame on this vehicle, like the water heater and the stove, of course. Now, one thing you may not be familiar with, of course, is the refrigerator can be LP cooled as well. Now, that of course is if you're on your own and not hooked up to 30 amp. Now, if you're hooked up to 30 amp, traditionally you're going to make the switch and let it run on electric. Now, one thing to note for safety is that you want to make sure this LP gas is off, of course, as you're traveling down the road. Once you get to your site, turn it on, and what's great is there's an indicator right here that lets you know how much LP gas you have, and there also is one on the inside with the press of a button. Now, on the opposite side of the entertainment, you're going to find what I call the business side, and this is where all the work happens on an RV, and you want it, of course, far from the entertaining. Now, obviously, you're going to have the hot water heater here. It's going to blow out the heat, so stay clear of that. And you're going to have all your kind of hookups. You can actually have a phone through here, your cable hookup, and of course, your sewer connection. Now, one little thing to note about the sewer connection is you have gray water and black water. Now, black water, of course, is any type of sewer material, while your gray water is traditionally from your sinks and shower. Now, what you want to do, of course, when you go to your dump site, or if you are connected and you need to drain those tanks, you basically want to go ahead and let your black water out first, let that fully empty, close it back up, then go ahead and let your gray water out. The reason for that is it makes a nice flushing of your hose and keeps it nice and clean, as that soapy water is going to naturally cleanse that hose. Now, with all the RV choices out there, you obviously, depending on what you pick, will vary with the amenities on the inside. Like in this model, this runs in about 21 feet and it's the Class C version. That's going to give you just enough room for a kitchenette, a modest living quarters, and a nice bathroom. Now, obviously, if you scale up to like a Class A, you're going to notice the kitchen expands, and as you add slides and other items, you're going to start to expand on that square footage, making a home on wheels truly that much more comfortable. Now, other things you need to consider, of course, is the cooling and heating of the interior. Does it come with air conditioning? Does it have heat?
and how easy it is to control. Last but not least is the entertainment. Can you hook up to cable? Does it have flat screens? All those are choices that of course add to the bottom line and may be or not be what you're looking for.
Now that does it for this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Roberson, and we did a travel edition RV special here, and we'd like to thank Camping World of Raleigh for our Class C motor home. Now again, if you're in the market for an RV, you need to look at all the various options before you dive right in. And Camping World of Raleigh, of course, will deliver all the choices you could possibly want under one roof. Now again, I'd like to thank you for watching, and as always, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.